Hello and welcome to week 3. And this week, it's going to be a little bit different in terms of our assignments, but let's start with the discussion forum first. So with the discussion forum, basically you're going to go back to the stakeholder that you selected for your first discussion forum 1-1 and also assignment 1-1. And for that, then um, you're going to look at trends in the industry, right? But not COVID-19, right? Because we already covered that, so we don't want to go over that again. But you might have to do some secondary research to find out some information. And so, what changes are happening with the stakeholder group, and what is one key prediction about that stakeholder group moving forward? And so the stakeholder thing is going to be kind of important. We talked about practitioners in all the material last week, and this week we talk about kind of the organizations. Um, we talk about long-term care. We talk about hospitals, and so these are going to be important areas, obviously, in terms of organization stakeholders. So that's what discussion forum 3-1 is primarily about. And then if you look at assignment 3-1, this is about data analysis using Excel, right? So everyone's going to go using the stakeholder group they selected, obviously again, and then go to the CDC Trends site. So you could do this first and then post to the discussion forum. And you're going to pull down in an Excel file information and analyze the data about how something has changed over time with your stakeholder group and how one time is represented as the whole, perhaps. So, like I have an example there in terms of outpatient ambulatory care facilities and how that's represented in the whole. That might mean, okay, so um, the percentage of patients who are seen in an ambulatory care facility versus those who are um, inpatients, service as inpatients. And so the idea here is to use Excel, right? Every course in the program has at least one Excel assignment. And so for this assignment, you're going to do that. You're going to create a pivot table and 3 graphs for your data. And then you're going to place the table and the graphs in a PowerPoint presentation and write a statement or two about what each piece of the data is telling you. And so basically, that's the analysis part, right? You're going to say, well, the trends show this, and you're going to just describe what that is. And that goes in a PowerPoint. And then, as you can see here, you'll upload the Excel file, and then whatever you posted or put in the PowerPoint would go there. Now, I do have a lot of material that will support you in terms of both looking at the types of stakeholders we're talking about this week, as well as the Excel information. So if you go to the recorded PowerPoints, there are a lot of them this week. So go to lectures and instructional content, and I've bucketed them in terms of different types of organizations: outpatient services and primary care, hospitals, long-term care, and then the Excel training material. So each of them has several recorded PowerPoints in there, and I would especially listen to the ones where it is your stakeholders included in that, right? But there's a lot of information and detail about all of them. Okay, and also for the Excel training material, I went into a lot of detail about this. And so there are probably two, three, four, five, about 8 recordings here. And they start from very kind of basic things like what's Excel, to then the ribbons and toolbars and just describing what those things are, and then editing data, and then here is getting into sorting and creating charts and graphs. I do sorting as well in the pivot table thing recording. These are mathematical computations and then some statistical computations, and then looking at pivot tables and sorting, creating graphs from pivot tables. So this is key to the assignment. So if anything, you should watch this. And obviously, if you need other help in terms of Excel, it starts at pretty basic level. This is by no means comprehensive in terms of Excel because there's a lot that it can do. So that's kind of what's going on with course material. And of course, we do have reading material, and the reading material looks at different stakeholders that we talk about this week, um, primary care, hospitals, and long-term care services, and outpatient services. So if you go to the assigned reading, a lot of them are just articles primarily. So you can just obviously go through those. This one is from Deloitte, talks about outpatient care and the growth of that, then long-term care. There's primarily one article about each of them. The Walgreens one is a little bit about more of a trend. So Walgreens is obviously they bought Village MD, and so they're bringing in primary care into the retail pharmacy, which is an interesting trend, right? And then primary care and physician practice consolidation. So all kind of short articles focusing on very specific stakeholders. So that's what's going on this week. Last week, we've been having great discussion forums, just really kind of impressed by what's going on in there, and people are asking questions of other students. And so that stakeholder thing is going to be important, right, as we go through that, because um, you're all taking different stakeholders. So reading through them helps everyone kind of gain knowledge about different stakeholders. You, of course, will kind of dive into yours and learn a little bit more about it. So that's what we have going on this week. As usual, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me by text or email. Thanks.